This is Eric Sofji from popularmechanics.com, and we're going to show you our gadget of the week, which is it's called the Space Navigator. It's from 3D Connection, which is a subsidiary of Logitech, and it runs $59 for the basic version. What it is a little bit hard to explain, so we're going to show you, but essentially they're marketing it as a Google Earth controller. It was designed originally for 3D applications like CAD/CAM and 3D graphics, but what they found is that it's actually an excellent controller to sort of zoom through Google Earth. With the controller, I have much finer control, and with the speed jacked up all the way, I can basically zoom in to pretty much anywhere. Of course, I picked Greenland, which basically doesn't have any features, but let's find, because we're narcissistic, the Hearst Tower, which is where we are right now in Manhattan. So as you can see, I'm zooming all around the globe. I have a few of the features turned on, mainly borders and 3D buildings. Now, we're not trying to make this an ad for Google Earth. I mean, it's free, so who cares? But again, this thing really highlights what this program can do. So here, we're zooming in on New York. Now, as you see, as we get closer, now I should explain that the way you maneuver with this controller is again pretty unique, because to gain altitude, I actually pull up on this thing. Now it's heavy. It weighs about a pound, just a little over a pound. So unless you pull really hard, it's going to stay on the table. So by pulling straight up, I basically gain altitude. If I mash it down, I drop. Then I can also tilt. It's actually very intuitive. Well, it's intuitive once you try it for about 1 minute. And then you realize that you pretty much don't have to think about anything. You don't have to be a gamer, although it probably helps a little bit. So here's the Hearst Tower. Now, this is one of the few buildings in Manhattan where someone's actually modeled it. It's not perfect, it's not all that high res, but they did get the basic shape and features of the building. With this thing, you can push it in any direction, you can pull it, you can press down on it, and all of that input is going to get you somewhere. And then by sort of mixing, as far as I can tell, up to 3 different sort of types of movement at the same time, you can really, that's what really lets you fly around with sort of this kind of unprecedented amount of precision, at least as far as I've seen. Now, this is going to sound kind of cheesy, but this is one of the few products that we've gotten in that I can remember where I basically think about it constantly when I'm not in the office, mainly because it really is an unprecedented way to move through 3D space. But it's hard to figure out what it would be good for aside for something like Google Earth. That said, I mean, for $60, even as a sort of novelty item just for one program, it's great. But this thing does have a lot of potential for gaming, for sort of any design application, and even possibly just as a sort of basic OS controller to work alongside with your mouse. For popularmechanics.com, this is Eric Sofji.